Woo! We did it! We did it!
After 4 long, tense days, we've reached a historic moment in this election.
That former Vice President Joe Biden will win Pennsylvania and Nevada, putting him over the 270 electoral votes he needs to become the 46th President of the United States.
It took days to decide, but Donald Trump's presidency is over.
I sought this office to restore the soul of America, to rebuild the backbone of this nation.
After spending months travelling America, I returned to Florida, the critical swing state that Trump would win again, opening the floodgates to the president's baseless attacks on the legitimacy of the vote.
4 more years! 4 more years! 4 more years!
Palm Beach County is home to Trump's famous private members club, Mar-a-Lago, an area divided by extreme wealth to the east and poorer neighbourhoods to the west.
You're letting us come and ride with you?
Okay.
Is that all right?
That's fine.
Yeah, okay. We need to take the bird at the White House because we're sick of the tweet.
I ran into a group of activists called Palm Beach Indivisibles, a grassroots community group that has been working for months to get the vote out in the city's most diverse neighbourhoods.
Hey, get that to your mom. Make sure you read it.
You think Joe Biden's going to be a good president?
I think he is, because you know why? Because they're giving it the same energy as they did when Obama got in. When they had everybody getting them shuttle buses for people that can't make it to the polls, they're doing that now. They got whole tour buses and whole Greyhound buses taking people to vote. So yeah, I think he got a great chance of winning this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be there. I think he's gonna do it.
Let me let y'all hear the roar of the victory for Biden and Harris 2020. Donald Trump always puts America first.
That evening I headed south to Miami for a midnight rally with Donald Trump. It was an event designed to garner the support of the city's large population of Cuban Americans. Although Joe Biden won the majority of Latino voters nationwide, Trump did better than expected in Miami, and falsities portraying Biden as a socialist were cutting through.
How are you feeling about this election?
I'm feeling very good now.
Yeah?
Yes, I am.
Do you think he's going to win?
I'm very optimistic, cautiously optimistic.
I'm feeling confident that Trump is going to pull it.
How confident?
Very, very confident.
I'm a Cuban American woman, and so this is something that I've been preparing for my whole life because my mother said it could happen anywhere, even here.
I assume you're talking about socialism there.
Oh yes, we're talking about Marxist. That's behind it. Socialism is just step one.
President of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
Hello, Florida. Hello, Florida. With your vote, we will continue to cut your taxes, cut regulations, support our great police, support our great military.
It's less than 48 hours now until Election Day. This is the 5th rally that Donald Trump has held within 24 hours. To be totally honest, he seems a bit exhausted. But this could be one of the last political rallies Donald Trump holds as president, or depending on who you talk to, the beginning of the end for American democracy. So we're with some Trump campaign volunteers, a guy called Joe, who is a local kind of Republican establishment bigwig, and it's 4:36 in the morning, and they're out at a bunch of polling stations in Palm Beach County putting yard signs out in front just before everybody gets to the polls. I feel like we're in a bit of a car chase. Were you not able to put signs up here until Election Day?
Well, people steal signs and knock them over and stuff like that, so that's why we put them up at the last minute.
Okay. I've got to be honest, this is you're one of the most committed supporters I've met on a long journey. Are you seeing that level of commitment amongst your friends as well?
And the enthusiasm in Palm Beach County is just off the charts for any presidential election we've probably ever had.
Do you think at this stage a sign outside a polling station is going to change anybody's mind?
Well, there's only a couple of percentage of people that are probably subject to have their mind changed as they're going into a polling booth. But on a hot day, when somebody goes in and walks out of a store with an ice cream cone, all of a sudden everybody wants an ice cream cone. So I think it just demonstrates the enthusiasm that we have for our president.
Trump Pence ice cream cone.
Yeah, there you go. Trump Pence ice cream cone. You can ask Joe Biden what flavor ice cream he likes. He likes soft questions like that.
Great.
All right, we got to go.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's a man in a hurry and on a mission.
As the sun rose, I headed back to West Palm Beach, where organisers with the Indivisibles were preparing for a long day at the polls. The county voted overwhelmingly for Joe Biden, but the margin remained almost identical to 4 years ago, with turnout soaring on both sides.
Sorry, can you just tell me a bit about what the purpose of this is?
What we call a comfort tent. And
tent.
A comfort tent provides, things that make it more comfortable for the voters that are going to be standing in line possibly for hours. So we provide them with literature, we provide them coffee and donuts in the morning, water throughout the day.
Where are the donuts?
So American.
I'm purely asking for journalistic reasons. I was not going to ask for a donut, don't worry. How long have you been out here for?
I got here at 5 o'clock this morning.
5 o'clock?
Yes.
Why so early?
5 o'clock. It's very important right now. It's very important. Very.
Just in terms of the elections that you voted in the past, how important is it? How does it compare?
Democracy is at stake. Bottom line.
If Donald Trump loses one of those big early reporting states.
As the polls closed, I headed to a hotel near Palm Beach Airport for Joe Budd's election night party.
And right now, the data is showing us that the Republicans have a 220,000 turnout lead.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you that Donald Trump is going to win a second term in office?
9.5.
9.5.
I'm a 9. 9.
9.
Okay.
110%.
That is very, very, very confident.
This comes down from inside information from the chairman of the Republican Party of Florida, Joe Gruters. Ladies and gentlemen, Florida has gone to Trump.
In the same hotel, local Democrats were also holding a more low-key event. I caught up with Christelle and a few of her colleagues.
Florida is doing Florida's thing again, which is unpredictable, which, it's Florida.
I believe things can shift in a magnificent way that, we don't know, but I'm trying to be optimistic.
Feels like we're almost in a bit of an alternative reality. Fox News just announced that the Democrats have retained control of the House of Representatives, and no one seems to have noticed.
By this point, Joe's party was completely packed. No one was wearing masks, and there was no social distancing. So I decided to spend the rest of the night outside. As I watched, it was becoming increasingly clear to people inside that the election was much closer than they'd realised.
Are you kind of ready for the long haul?
I am, yeah. Locked and loaded and ready.
Locked and loaded?
Yes.
What do you mean by that?
You know what? From what I've seen from the Democrat Party over the last 3 years, but particularly the last year, rioting, looting, harassing, I don't feel safe in my own home, and that's really disgusting.
And if Biden gets in, we are totally ducked. We are ducked to the max because he's going to shut everything down. He's listening to the stupid scientists, and they don't understand everything.
Bolshevik, Marxist, Leninist, Communist, Maoist revolution. Okay? Thank you.
Have a good night. Joe, a lot of the people that we were speaking to came out of this event were very angry. Very, very, very angry. And we're talking about being locked and loaded. We're talking about, fury at Joe Biden. Are you angry?
No, not at all. No, not at all.
But if Biden wins it, how are you going to feel?
Well, I think most important thing to me is the Supreme Court justices.
Yeah.
that I think we solidified the courts for a generation, and so I think we're in good shape there.
So I've been up for 24 hours. It's almost 2 o'clock in the morning now, and most people here are calling it a night. We still do not know who's won this election. What is very clear, though, is that this country is still deeply divided.
The wait for a result went on for days, and as Donald Trump continued to undermine the process, tensions were rising in parts of South Florida.
So it's 2 days since election night now, and the election is basically coming down to 4 battleground states, and even though Florida has long been decided, we've heard a group of pro-Trump protesters are out in Miami calling for the counts to be stopped around the country.
There's tremendous litigation going on, and this is a case where they're trying to steal an election. That's why they did the mail-in ballots, where there's tremendous corruption and fraud going on.
After Trump's speech finished, Enrique Tarrio, chairman of the far-right extremist group the Proud Boys, addressed the crowd.
You're with the Proud Boys, right?
I'm the chairman.
What do you say to people who say that you're spreading dangerous and baseless misinformation?
I don't care about those people. Those people, to me, I consider them retards. People that think that I'm a danger or there is a danger.
I said that the information that you're spreading, or disinformation that you're spreading, is dangerous and it's designed to stoke up anger and hatred.
Well, I could tell them to go fuck themselves.
Small protests continued throughout the country, but a result was gradually becoming clear. And finally, 2 days later,
CNN projects Joseph R. Biden Jr. is elected the 46th president of the United States.
This has been a grueling election. And in my travels around the country, I've seen 2 different versions of America, pitted against each other. One rife with divisive politics, and in the end, an effort to subvert democracy. The other, an attempt to unify the country by returning to a semblance of normality.
Do you know who you're voting for yet?
Of course, not for Trump. Thank you, Sid. You don't say the word.
During this pandemic election, it hasn't always been easy to grasp the enthusiasm for Joe Biden. And much of the energy out there was fueled by a disdain for Donald Trump.
He's lied, he's cheated, I just can't vote for him.
The president's catastrophic policy failures have harmed communities around America, and those communities turned up in big numbers to vote him out of office.
George Bush is a great president compared to that thing that's in the White House.
But there was genuine belief that Joe Biden represents a type of decency that's been absent in high office. However, this victory is not just about Joe Biden. It is a story about a coalition of voters made up of young people, communities of colour, and women. A coalition that increasingly reflects the diversity of this country.
We are now engaging people of color. We're now seeing people on the ballot that are people of color.
People think that that is a political statement, saying that Black Lives Matter instead of just a statement of our humanity.
While Donald Trump lost convincingly, he still gained millions more votes than last time. He has created a political movement with a base of deeply loyal supporters.
This mask is useless.
This mask is useless, yes.
And he's moved fringe, far-right conspiracy theories into the mainstream.
Do you believe that an online furniture retailer is peddling a global paedophilia conspiracy?
Just like I did.
From lies about his handling of the pandemic,
I think this entire pandemic has been a setup,
to racist dog whistles.
And are you guys going to be on these streets?
All against a backdrop of the decline of trusted and objective information.
The President of the United States demeans this business, dismisses it.
Donald Trump may have lost, but Trumpism will remain a powerful force in American politics for years to come.
Ungrateful pieces of crap! Get out of our country!
And Joe Biden comes to power at a time of entrenched division, economic crisis, and a global pandemic, when trust in institutions and democracy itself has been undermined.
It's been a long election week. To be honest, this journey has been a difficult one, seeing a lot of division in this country and a lot of polarization. But right now, in this car parade, I think of at least 100 cars that they brought out. The sense of unity and the sense of togetherness is quite amazing. You told me on election night, you said that some of the work that you were doing was for your family and for your kids.
Absolutely. Because our children are the future.
You feel like it paid off?
It absolutely did. It's very important. And it shows that we can do it. Anyone can do it. Absolutely.
We did it! We did it!
Do you remember?
Hey, what I told y'all last week? Didn't I tell y'all that? Didn't I tell y'all that? Didn't I tell y'all that on the interview?
You were right.
I was on the interview when I told y'all. Hey, close my door. I'm going with them. I get a shirt.
I told y'all we was gonna do it, man. Just because I look like this, man, I'm political too, man. We all are, man.
We did it. We did it. We did it. We did it. There's no limit what we can do if we put our minds together and everybody put their minds together and put their act together and focus. No limit to what we can do if we all come together. Like Biden said, if we come together as a unit, united, there's nothing we can't do.